Alright guys, good morning and welcome to the very first episode of Let's Cook It Up with Bonnie and Tom. So today we're going to be making, we're going to show you how to make the best gravy and biscuits that you've ever had with a couple secret ingredients. And so make sure you stick around, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell for any future videos, because we want you to stick around with us. Your comments and questions and things will add into other videos. So you'll stick around. Let's make some great gravy and biscuits. It's morning here in Florida. Let's do it. Okay, as with anything else, everybody will tell you fresh food starts with fresh ingredients. So in here we have some red pepper flakes, black pepper, and salt. And that's for the sausage as it's cooking in the pan. So we're getting everything kind of ready at the same time. We have a 1 cup of fresh self-rising flour and a little over 3/4 cup of heavy cream. And then over here is the secret ingredient to the greatest gravy you've ever had. That's Bisquick. 2 tablespoons, or however much gravy you want to make. We're going to set this oven. We'll get it up to 405. And then the next key is Grandma's old black iron skillet. There we go. We'll put butter in here, turn the burner on under it, heat that butter up, and that way the pan is hot, everything's ready to go. So let's move on. Now, I always do my my biscuit mix. I stir it up in the sink, and that way I just don't make a huge mess. You do it however you want. Maybe your wife wants you to make a big mess. That's always more fun. One of the big things about making biscuits, folks, don't mix it up too much. Because mixing it up too much is a problem. If it gets too thin, just add a little flour to it. Once you get your initial ball though, you've got everything you need. The rest of this will just be going to waste. Okay, that looks about right. And we're just going to run this video pretty much straight through. I'll do a couple little cuts, but pretty much straight through. So get a little flour on your hands there to where it's not sticking to you too bad. The key to making good biscuits, again, don't stir it up too much and don't over fold it. So as you fold it, push it down. Fold it, push it down. I do this about 4 times. That gives you a good biscuit. It's not dry in any way. And then I'll take it down to about 3/4 of an inch thick. It's not too tough that way. Get this out of here. And then over here we have the skillet already heating up. Our oven should pop everything out at about the same time. Once it's heated up, we'll be ready to put these guys in for 19 minutes. While that's going on, we're going to make that gravy in that same amount of time. Just take whatever cutter you want, make your biscuit. You can already see it's going to be in layers. Do this whole breakfast in way less than 30 minutes because you're just timing everything out right. knock some of that excess flour off of there. When they come out, just put a little butter on them. Top, just brush a little softened butter right on top of them. And if you had extra in there and you wanted to make more, just put it together, fold it over, put a couple folds in it. Now you got enough for one more biscuit. You just don't want to overpack it. You just want it to be same size. All right, very good. Let's get these guys in the oven. $405 for 19 minutes. There we go. In this 19 minutes, we're going to make sausage gravy. Let me set this out of the way. And this out of the way. Okay, we got our frozen sausage patties in there. We like to use Swaggerty's or Tennessee Pride. These are Tennessee Pride. Or Jimmy Dean's is good. And got that kind of over a medium heat. We have our seasonings here. We're going to put those right on top of this guys here. And that's just because good gravy has got a little bit of a tang to it. So those red peppers are they're not going to be strong at all. But they're going to get in there and do their job.
Good gravy. Good
gravy, that's right. Bonnie said good gravy. So we have 16 minutes left on our timer here. These should be done by about and ready for the rest of our milk and things to go in to make our gravy at about the 12-minute mark. You need about 11 or 12 minutes to time this all out perfect. The key to any good gravy and biscuits is going to be butter, good ingredients, good flour, good sausage. You don't have good ingredients, it's going to be mediocre whatever, in whatever you're making. But any of you guys that have ever made gravy and biscuits, I'm sure you probably never heard of using Bisquick instead of flour in there to make it up. You'll never make it that way again. I learned from the best how to make gravy, and that's Bonnie. And then one of our friends that was a chef, personal chef, one day showed me the Bisquick thing, and I put the two things together, and voila, here you go. I'm telling you, better than Cracker Barrel. And it just takes about 19 minutes to do all of it if you've got your stuff all set out. You can see it only takes like 2 minutes, even for a frozen sausage patty, to get broke up. And then you'll see this starts coming together real fast. Use a little bit of heavy cream in the sausage as well, in the gravy. Not as much, and not a cup of or anything like that. I just put a little bit in it because it, for one thing, the heavy cream is sweet. So it's going to give it just a little bit of sweet. And you can see how much gravy that's making already, and we want those fats and juices there all combining. That's why you always put your seasoning in the meat, and it'll come out into the sauce. Bonnie taught me that. And she'll show you in some later on episodes some other things that she makes, why that is, and how that truly works out that way. And like I said, it was just salt, pepper, and red pepper flakes in this portion of it, making this part up. And I can tell you this is going to be crazy already good. These biscuits got 12 minutes to go. I told you at 11 minutes we would be putting this stuff together, and we literally are right on track. We got some good juices going down in here. Once we get to that point, we'll get to make a bowl in the middle of this gravy of these sausage, and we'll start building our gravy right in the middle of it. Here we go. Should be getting ready to flip the 11-minute mark. That's about a tablespoon and a half of butter. Depends on how much you're making. Just hit the 11-minute mark, just drop the butter in. That's pretty funny. Going to be using a little bit of heavy whipped cream. You could use 2% milk. I have in the past. I have whole milk because Bonnie's been making a bunch of bread, which we'll get a bread video on there as well. You see that butter is in there in the middle. Now we're gonna, we have these two heaping, there's probably about a quarter cup of Bisquick here. We don't want all of that, okay? Whatever's gonna work for you. Remember, however much of this you put in, that's how much gravy you're making. Now, we gotta get this worked into the butter. And you'll know this is just making a roux is what you're doing here. You're not having to add all of the other things in and fight with your gravy because the Bisquick has everything in it. You'll see this will start coming off of the meat as the meat starts releasing it. Once that sausage starts releasing it, it'll start getting to where you can let it set for a second and kind of regroup there. Let it brown up a little bit. I like even my white country gravy to have just a little bit of color to it. So most people will say, stir this all the time, don't ever stop stirring. I disagree. If you want a little more color to it, it's like any other roux. If you've ever been to Bob Evans, they have a brown gravy. It started out as a white gravy, and it turned brown because they let it cook. But you can see that's starting to turn brown down in there already. So let's get some gravy going here. I'm going to put just a little bit of heavy cream in it. That's maybe a quarter cup. The rest is going to be this whole milk. And again, however much gravy you want to make, there's 3 of us going to be eating here today. So from this point on, it's going to start releasing all that pepper and hot pepper flakes down in there. I do have this up on high. We're up on 9. We got 9 minutes left on the biscuits, so that gives us 9 minutes to cook this gravy. Add just a little pepper because I like to do a little bit as I go. It'll work its way down in there, and we'll put a little salt in it. You see all that goodness working together there? It's starting to come apart in there. I can see that, I can feel that the Bisquick is starting to break up more. The sausage is breaking up from it. There goes some pepper flakes. And again, this is not going to be spicy, but it'll give you just enough tang that, and you can see this gravy is not pure white. It's got just a little bit, it's just a little bit tan because I cooked it that way. If you want just straight white gravy, then do it up that way. Always do a little taste test because you gotta know what you're feeding your folks. It's really close already with everything in it. Wanted to give you a real-time video, 19 minutes long. Because there's people always asking me, how do you make that? How do you do this? How do you do that? So I thought the best way to do it is show you how I make breakfast. 6 minutes left on our timer. And you can fast forward through any of this on your video, obviously. And you can see this is starting to get thick now. That gravy's coming together. But you can fast forward this to whatever part you want. If you fast forward to the end of it, all right, let's just see what it's done. But you may want to see when this whole thing comes off. This is just about breakfast already here. And then as it sets, you can take this off just a hair early because it'll set and tighten up just a little bit more. I think I'm just about to the point of taking this off now. It's really close. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay. We gotta take this guy off of here. It's perfect. All right, at the end of 19 minutes, here we go. And that's what we got. Perfect, let's brush some butter. Cat always got something. Oh, these things are incredible. All right, butter makes it better. So we got that to go in that. It's going to be good. It's perfect. Okay, let's plate up some of this gravy and biscuits. These girls said they could not be filmed today. They are not ready, is what they're telling me. Perfect biscuit. Boom. Isn't that great? There we go, folks.
On my pretty pink plate.
Okay, if you guys are ready to have some breakfast like this, go through the smell-o-vision, right? You gotta try this. It's amazing. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. We'll see you next time.